Q&A, Mailbag Monday, guys. Yes, Dark Dimension 3, Red Skull, and the Hydra rework, and so much more. We're talking about all of that in this video, and if you're ready for it, you know what to do. Let's go smash it!
ValleyFlyin.
What is up, Valley Maniacs? ValleyFlyin here. I am back. Welcome to the channel. It is Monday. I hope you guys had a great weekend. As some of you know, I had my first jiu-jitsu tournament this past weekend. Put up that video, and man, there's a lot of awesome comments from you guys on that video, and some of them got me emotional. So I have a lot of emotion from this past weekend. There was a lot of stress leading up to it, and I think it's going to take some time to dissipate, and thank you guys. And I had no idea that so many of you guys were jiu-jitsu practitioners and fellow martial art practitioners. Some of you guys are beasts, man. I had no idea that there's so many beastly people that watch this channel out there. Thank you guys for all those comments, but it is Monday. It is time to get you your questions about Marvel Strike Force. There were a lot of questions in the Discord server this week in that channel, and if you do want to ask a question, make sure that you are a part of that Discord server. Now, there were a lot of questions, like I said. I did not get to all of them because there were a lot. So if your question did not get answered this week, make sure you go back and ask it, and hopefully I will get to that next week. But before we get to all the questions, I do want to give a big shout out to the sponsor of this video, Raid Shadow Legends. So what is Raid Shadow Legends? Well, it is an action fantasy-based RPG with over 10 million downloads in the Play Store. And this game is deep with over 300 different champions, over 1 million different builds. There's so much to do in this game, guys. And if you love strategy, planning out your roster, you are gonna love the depth that this game offers you. So guys, right now, I am working on building up my roster in the campaign mode, and this is the place you're gonna wanna go to build up your roster, get them some experience, to see them get stronger and stronger. And one of the most appealing things about these hero collector games, guys, is to watch my roster get stronger and stronger. And I'm also really liking this arena PvP mode where you can go head to head with players from all over the world. Just look at these graphics, guys. Top notch, and I love the convenience of this game. It's one of these games you can play on your mobile device and use the same account on your PC. So if you're a new player, you are in luck, because if you use the link in the description, the good folks at Raid, they are going to give you a bunch of items to help really boost your account, give you a good head start. 100,000 silver, 50 gems, 1 energy refill, and 1 free champion, the Executioner. And this is a really good character, guys, for newer players, because he is one of the best characters in the game for campaign mode. That's really going to help you build the rest of the roster. So lucky you. All of this cool stuff, it's going to be waiting for you in your account right here. But use that link quick, because all these bonuses, they go away in 30 days. So what are you waiting for? Check out Raid today. And again, thank you to Raid for sponsoring this video. But guys, it is time for your questions. Let's get to them. Boom. First question. So ValleyFlyin, you showed your team for Heroes 7. Would you suggest any T4s for Falcon and Shuri, the legendary Shuri? So for Falcon, the interesting ones, I have not invested in either of them, but if you really, really want to invest in Falcon, the ones you should look at is Special to increase the speed, and his ultimate to increase the damage. And as for Shuri, I've invested in the passive, invested in the ultimate. The Special does not work the way I thought it was, so I'm not recommending that one anymore. But the ultimate, very, very good, especially if you're using her in other game modes like Ultimus 7. Now, the Special is good if you're running her Wakanda team, but if you're running her in a lot of hybrid teams, not working as well. Who would be a good alternate for Yo-Yo? I would recommend whoever you have as your strongest protector for that node, whether it be Shield Security or Colossus or another strong protector. Whoever your strongest is, that is who I'd recommend replacing Yo-Yo with. Next question. You mentioned Vision / Hela in the Power Couples video. You mentioned in your mailbag that you wouldn't look at Vision Scarlet because they work better elsewhere. Have you considered a threesome? Vision, Hela, Scarlet Witch. It is pretty crazy. I agree. That is a very, very crazy power threesome. Vision with the ability block, Hela to spread it to everybody, and Scarlet Witch to extend it to another turn, 2-turn ability block. Very, very strong. If you aren't using any of these characters on any other team, then yes, that is a very, very strong power threesome. But I think a lot of people are using Hela on an Asgardian team, Scarlet Witch on a supernatural team, but yeah, if Vision, I think he's going to be homeless now that Ironheart got announced as a member of that Power Armor team. So if you guys aren't using these characters, that is a very, very good suggestion, brother. Next question. There was a rumor back then that orange gear orbs would be changed in a way to give us more T14 unique mats. Do you have some information about that? I remember that rumor. I have not seen anything. I think that's something that they want to do. I think they should at least increase the superior uniques, if not the superior minis as well. I think they can keep superior minis, or those mini uniques, as the or whatever they're called, those mini ones that we got in milestones for Cyclops. Those I think should be the bottleneck, and they should reduce the bottlenecks of those other uniques. But I have not heard anything about them increasing the drop rates or increasing anything about those since then. So it's just a rumor at this point, brother. Next question. So I pulled a 7 red star Storm out of an Elite 4. I have a 5 red Cyclops, but he needs work, and I just got Phoenix tonight. Question: would you run Storm because 7 reds, or would Cyclops still be a better option, or maybe drop Psylocke or Wolvie? So the thing is, X-Men is a very good team. Whether you have Cyclops in there, whether you have Storm in there, they're a very good team. Now, in your situation, those 7 reds, I think that answers your question, because they're still a very good team. Cyclops makes them a better team, but I think the tiebreaker for you is those 7 red stars. So I would be running Storm in that team, at least for a little while, and save some of your resources that you could use on Cyclops just for a little bit. Next questions. Greetings from Canada. Greetings from Texas, brother. Dark Dimension 2 question. I'm thinking of taking in the standard team Star-Lord, Fury, Minerva, Groot, and SS. I think you mean Shield Security and not Scientist Supreme for here. Someone told me to take in Rocket instead of Shield Security. Is that a good idea? My BKT is my best team, so this would be convenient as Shield Security is weak. So the thing about Rocket is he kind of makes Groot into a tank with his special, because that gives a taunt to Groot. So you can do that, but as far as Dark Dimension 2, I would recommend whoever you get the uniques for first, whether it be Shield Security, Scientist Supreme, or Rocket. So that would be my answer. They're hard to come by, so whoever you could get in there quickest with first is who you should take in there. Next question. What is up, you delightful maniac? I am finally convinced my wife to start playing MSF. Why? I want to give her some useful advice, but a lot of new content has been added since I was a beginner. What should new players prioritize after the Defenders? So this really depends on what your goals are. The 2 teams that I would recommend are either the Guardians. If you want the best team for raid at that point in the game, I think Guardians are a very good raid team. Rocket is a little hard to come by, so whatever way you go, you probably should be farming him from the war store, the raid store in the background. He's hard to get, so start working on him now. But Sinister Six is another good option as well, because it allows you to unlock either both Invisible Woman and the legendary Shuri. So good characters. It really depends on what you prioritize. I probably would go Guardians if it were me, and then Sinister Six, but either way you can't go wrong. Do one second and the other third. The order is up to you. Also, which villains united do you hit 3 times for the daily challenge? Right now, most of my villains are done except for Hydra Sniper. So I've been working on him for a while, because he was pretty much the only character that was left for me, and luckily he got a rework. So Hydra Sniper is the one that I'm working on right now, brother. All right, why did MSF stop the purple gear catalyst orbs? Not everyone is these characters at max star rank. It is slow progress farming characters and farming materials. So the reason that I think, and I used this answer for a different question last week, but the answer is going to be the same. I think there's 2 possible reasons. They just kind of copied and pasted the old milestone event, and they forgot to put these back in. I think that is the more likely scenario. Or they're just greedy, and that would be a very risky thing to do with the boycott situation still not fully resolved. That fixed MSF movement is still kind of going strong. So I think the more likely scenario is they just copied and pasted and forgot. So Let's remind him. Foxnex, put those blitz orbs back in so we could get more gear, guys. Next question. Hey Valley, have you seen the numbers on the person who finished Dark Dimension 3? How did you get so many tunes so big? Well, I didn't. This guy is hacking. I don't think he's hacking. I personally think he's just the whale. That's my opinion, especially that Foxnext is promoting this guy in game. So I think they've looked at his account, saw how much he spent, and would promote that. I don't think they would promote him in the game if he was someone that was hacking, but that is just my opinion. Next question. Hey ya Valley, what is up, my man? I'm super surprised to see that Dark Dimension 3 has already been completed. What is assumed is one true Leviathan. I think you're right about that this game needs. My question is, do you think you could score an interview with him? Sure, I know he's Japanese, but I don't know, maybe you speak total fluent Japanese or something. Could be amazing idea. So that is definitely a good idea. I'll definitely try to reach out to him, see if I could get in touch with that person. But as far as speaking fluent Japanese, I do not. Now, I did take 2 years of Japanese in high school and in college, and I had some teammates on my rugby team that were from Japan, and one of them was my roommate. So I would speak to them as often as I could, and back then I actually could speak Japanese very well, but I have not spoken it since then. So yeah, I don't speak fluent Japanese at all. Not even close right now. Next question. Hey brother, hope you had a great weekend. I used up my 2/6 red stars on Scientist Supreme and Phoenix, and I have to say that I'm pretty happy with my choices. My question is, what do you think of the idea of Foxnext introducing a character that could create a villain blaster team similar to the hero brawler team? It would give characters like Winter Soldier, Bullseye finally a home, or maybe a 5th military character. I really would like to use Winter Soldier, and I think that would be a good idea. Villain blaster team would be nice to make use of some of these homeless characters that really have no use in the game right now, and some kind of character to bring them together and make them a viable team. It's really a shame that Winter Soldier didn't get a rework with his Hydra rework. He should be a better character than he is, but right now, kind of useless, unfortunately. Next question, off topic. While your show has started, you've started to move further away from the wrestling related material. I was curious if you were just a fan, or if you ever tried your hand in the ring. Just a fan, brother. I want to give a shout out to MSF Darkstalker, formerly known as Ian Manley, the only real man in professional wrestling. I'm just a fan. I've never thought seriously about that past elementary school. When I was in elementary school, I was like, I'm gonna be a professional wrestler, but yeah, back then there was really no way to know how to get into the industry. But I do know a few people that do work in that profession, so it is a very, very tough one, and that is something that I didn't really have interest in putting my body through. Next question, what is up? Greetings from South Africa. What's up, Springbok? Recently unlocked Ultron on my first run. Used Star-Lord, Minerva, Captain Marvel, Rocket, and Drax. And the next run he ran Groot, and it was a lot better, replacing Drax with Groot. And I guess the question is, in the form of presenting a challenge to unlock Ultron, is it harder the first time around in regards to enemy health or power, or is Groot just that valuable with his kit in Fear the Darkness? So Groot does a lot of good things. He can serve as a protector because you are running Rocket here, so he has that taunt. But unlike Drax, who just kind of protects, Groot also gives defense up and death proof with his special. And he's going to clear away negative abilities with his special with a little bit of a healing as well. So I think Groot is just that valuable in this game mode with that team that you're using. Next question, ValleyFlyin was wondering, what are your thoughts? I am a mid-endgame player. I still have a few 5 red stars I could consider. Is Punisher a good choice? So it really depends on your usage. If you're using Punisher a lot, then yes. For myself, I'm not using Punisher that much, so it wouldn't be a good investment for me. But if you're using Punisher a lot and you're gonna get the value out of that character, it's definitely a way to go. Now, a couple modes that he would be valuable in is for that block party, for the new gold challenges, and then maybe in that city node in Dark Dimension 3. So consider him. And I think he doesn't take a lot of those mini uniques for Dark Dimension 3 either. So might be a character worth investing in. But again, it's going to come down to your usage, brother. Next question. Should I take power armor to gear 12? Are they worth investing in? And do you think they will make a hero city villains chapter for Hero 7? So power armor looks very, very good. A war offense team, great blitz team. Outside of that, I'm not sure how much use you get out of them, but definitely I would try to get them to gear 12 if that is the place in the game you're using and you're not sacrificing those resources from another team that is more versatile in more game modes. Do you think they will make a city villains for Heroes Villains Chapter 7? I think it's likely. I think they probably are going to do what they did in Heroes, making a city node, a global node, and a cosmic node. So I'm thinking I should prepare for that now that you mentioned that, and maybe you guys should too. But it's just the opinion on my part. Have not heard anything concrete or seen anything in data mines or heard any rumors. So I just think it's very likely based on what they did in the Heroes chapter. Next question. Yo, Valley. Question. Your most desired character rework and full team rework. Do you have to ask? Hulk. Hulk is my most desired rework of a character. And I like your choice here. The OG Avengers. I think they're long overdue. I think a lot of those OG Avengers are getting separated out to other teams. And I think it's kind of a shame because especially in the MCU, they are the team, one of the most powerful teams in the whole Marvel universe, and they kind of suck in this game. I would like to see them at least, maybe not in the top 5, but I would like to see the Avengers at least in the top 10 teams in this game. Next question. Greetings from New Hampshire, my guy. Greetings from Texas, my guy. With Ultimus gaining 5 red stars after completing Dark Dimension 3 a second time, do you think he will be super good? He's decent now, but I wonder how good he will be with those red stars. So I think he's a good niche character, and I think with those red stars, he'll be a better niche character, but I don't think he's gonna be a meta character even with those red stars. On certain teams, he will be very good in certain scenarios, and he will be like the MVP of that whole match. But in other matches and other teams, not super valuable. So I don't see him being a meta character, but I do see him as being a very, very good character. Next question. Greetings from Slovenia, brother. Greetings from Texas. All right, first, thank you for the great free-to-play farming guide you made for fast farming legendaries. My question. The final Blitzstore hero is Spider-Man. Can I replace him with Thing? So when that guide was made, Fantastic Four was not a fully farmable team. So I definitely think you need both of these teams. They both have value. Fantastic Four has value. They're a great war offense team. They're great in blitz. And yeah, they'll help you in a lot of game modes. And if the rumors are true about Namor being replaced and being able to use that Fantastic Four in other game modes, is definitely a team that you might want to build long term. Spider-Man is a great character on his own, and if you do have Miles, I think not Miles, symbiote Spider-Man, I think that's going to make those spiders a lot more valuable. So you can't go wrong with either one. I think right now it's probably a little better to prioritize Fantastic Four until you get symbiote Spider-Man, but definitely build both of these. The order is up to you, depending where you are in the game, though. Next question. How's the fam? They're doing good, brother. Thank you for asking. So here's the question. Is it worth it to put T4s into Crystal's passive? So that was one of the T4s that I did very early on for Crystal. That's the only T4 that I have in her. I think the extra healing is very valuable. So I think that really helps that Inhumans team. So in my opinion, yes, it is worth putting the T4s into her passive. Again, it's going to come down to usage though. If you're using your Inhumans a lot, no brainer. If you're not using them a lot, then it might be something that you might want to wait and do down the road. Next question. ValleyFlyin. For my war defense teams, I'm trying to decide between putting BKT and using Drax, Mantis, Cap, Captain Marvel, Hulk, and Wolverine, or should I just leave all the Guardians together and put a mixed team in? Which do you think will perform better on defense? So I think Mantis has some real good synergy with Drax and Hulk. So for that alone, I think that would be a good team. Captain Marvel is great on any war defense team. Wolverine, it looks like you're not really building an X-Men team if he is stranded on this team. So You could definitely replace Wolverine on this team. I would definitely start to work on an X-Men team if I were you. Start working on the characters to unlock Phoenix if you don't have her unlocked already. I would leave it as it is for now. That's my opinion. As far as which one would perform better, I think it might perform better as well, especially if you have a really beefy Mantis or really beefy Hulk, and obviously you should be building Captain Marvel. So yeah, I would leave it how you have it right now. Next question, ValleyFlyin, love the channel. Greetings from Ireland. Greetings from Texas, brother. If and when do you think Fox Next will start rolling out T5 abilities? Oh, man. Rough question there. I think I would like to see it at least a year away. I wouldn't like to see this in the game anytime soon. I think it's kind of inevitable at some point that they add another ability later on, but if they do this, if they do add these T5s, I would like to see them make these T4 orange abilities way more prevalent, because if they're adding another bottleneck, they should reduce bottleneck, and if they add another bottleneck of T5s, they definitely should make the T4s way more available. Next question. Hey Valley, love the positivity you bring in the midst of such negativity. I pulled a 7 red star Iron Fist, my first one. Congratulations, brother. That is a pretty decent one, especially on the defenders. But I left my defenders behind so long ago. So is it worth it to invest in Iron Fist? All the characters, I feel like he's a pigeonholed into one specific team, so I don't know if he's worth it. So kind of like I talked about in a previous question about the Punisher, the defenders, they're not the best team, but they do have some usage. That block party, they're worth building up for that. They're worth it for building up the gold challenge. You could get more gold on a 3 times a week basis, and then they don't take that many superior or mini uniques for Dark Dimension 3. So in that sense, it might be worth bringing up your defenders just for that. But again, they're not the best team, but don't just bring up Iron Fist and leave the rest of your defenders behind. You bring them all up kind of reasonably. Iron Fist could be a little higher. Punisher could be a little higher than the rest of them. Those should be your 2 strongest characters, but it's definitely worth building them up for those game modes that I mentioned. But they're not going to be that valuable outside of that, I think. Next question. Hello from Kentucky, brother. Hello from Texas. Been watching for 2 years and you rock. Thank you, brother. Quick flex just unlocked the legendary Shuri. That how many times have said that? It might be a record for this new videos. Coulson and Dark Phoenix, super stoked on the last note of Fear the Darkness as well. Finally about to do some serious damage. Congratulations. Anyway, love the content. Good luck in your tourney. Question, what is the best way to recruit for my alliance? Shout out to the wild cards. Thank you and have a good one. So I kind of answered this last week. Not really my area of expertise. I avoid this area of the game like the plague. I don't want to be involved in alliance leadership or management. But what my answer was last week was go to the Discord servers, go to the recruiting channels. You could go to my server. You could go to some of the other content creators servers. You could go to the main. There's about 3 or 4 main ones that you could go to, post in there, and hopefully good luck finding a new alliance mate when you're trying to recruit. That would be my suggestion. And if you guys have any other suggestions and are more active in that, help a brother out in the comments. Next question. Greetings from South Texas. Greetings from North Texas. I've been following you in OMG for about 2 years. Love your content and your enthusiasm. Thank you, brother. Anyway, remember back in the day when Captain Marvel and Black Widow were some of the best units in the game? I do. Captain Marvel gave himself and others energy. He still does. It's just not as relevant. Black Widow's special gave them even more speed. Anyway, Black Widow movie coming out, set to drop soon. What reworks would you have done to her, or would you like to see her get more speed with a little more utility? And can we make the Avengers great again? I would love to see the Avengers brought into relevance. Although my fear is all these Avengers getting separated out into different teams. My fear with that movie coming out is they're going to release characters from that movie and take Black Widow off of that team, make her great, make that team great, and then Captain America, Hawkeye, even kind of Hulk is kind of homeless right now. But I would like to see all of them get reworked, get a lot better, bring that team more into relevance. Kind of like I said, in the top 10. I would like to see Avengers in a top 10 team. Next question. What is a good raid team to use on the first node of Ultimus 7 to charge up Storm and use her nuke in a later node? Now, This was a very, very viable strategy in Ultimus 7 that first time around. I think it was called First Strike when it first came around. It's a lot easier than it is now. I don't know if a lot of people are using that storm strategy, maybe on one of the first few nodes. So I don't know if it's a very viable strategy at this point for Ultimus 7, but when people are charging up storm, I know the best thing that they normally do, put her with a bunch of protectors and healers to give that team a lot of sustain. So she could just use her basic. So that would be my recommendation. Surround her with some of your best protectors and healers, and just give that team a lot of sustain. Next question, Kyle Reeds here from Chicago. What is up, Kyle Reeds? First off, love the show and think it's awesome what you do. My question is, how cool would it be to have this game ported to Xbox or PlayStation, heck, even Nintendo Switch? Like, who do I talk to get that up in the air? So I am not sure. Reach out to support and hopefully they could point you in the right direction, brother, because I have no idea. Next question, ValleyFlyin. What does Fury bring to Dark Dimension 2? Would the legendary or Invisible Woman be a suitable replacement, as they seem to have more value in Ultimus 7? Possible team: Star-Lord, Rocket, Groot, Shuri, or Invisible Woman and Minerva. Yeah, both of those teams I think would be a lot better than the Nick Fury version. Sustain is what they do. Personally, I think Invisible Woman gives that team a little more than Shuri. You're getting that defense up from Groot, so you don't really need that from Shuri, and you're getting the healing from Minerva. So my choice would be Invisible Woman, but both of them I think are better choices and will get you longer term value out of them for Ultimus 7. Next question. For about half a year, maybe more, I've experienced massive sound bugs in MSF. I play on iOS. Is this something you have experienced or heard from other players? You're going to, is Foxnex going to fix this anytime soon? So I have heard that there's some sound bugs. Personally, I have not experienced this. Most of the time I'm playing this on my phone, sound is off. So I don't know about any sound bugs. They may be occurring on my device, but I don't play with any sound. Right into support, and hopefully they can get whatever is going on fixed as soon as possible. But yeah, keep writing into them until they fix whatever is broken. Next question. Love your videos. Been watching you, Casino Mobile Gamer, for over 2 years now. Been great. Wanted to ask, with all the new characters making up so many meta teams, will we be getting any more save slots for the teams? We have 20. It is not enough anymore. I don't think it was ever enough. I think a lot of the request from the community was to add unlimited slots and tabs for different game modes, and then even some filters so that we could search for characters while we're in the battle screen and not just in our roster view screen. This is one of the big wasted times, the big low quality time sinks in the game. So this is something that really definitely needs to be fixed, in my opinion. The user interface and selecting your teams for battle is just so bad. Since Blob and Toad were added to the Brotherhood, I've been making a full Brotherhood team again. Sabretooth, Mystique are mainly used in Marauders now. Do you think it's been the same scenario with Cyclops being added to the X-Men and MSF eventually adding Beast? I am not sure. Do you think Storm and Psylocke will gain X-Force tag to be used in a team like Marauders Brotherhood for Sabretooth and Mystique? Storm already has synergy with X-Force here, but no X-Force tag. And when they do expand X-Force, who do you hope they will add? So I would like to see dual tags for all these characters that you mentioned. As far as who they would add, I think the obvious choice would be Domino, because she was featured in that Deadpool movie. Warpath, I looked up on Wikipedia, the members of X-Force. Warpath stood out as a possible protector. Same with Bishop, although Bishop probably is more of a blaster. So I think those are the three characters that I would like. And then I saw that X-23 was a member of X-Force as well, so I would definitely like to see her, maybe even with dual tags. I think all of these characters that have X-Men tags can also have X-Force tags. I think Jean Grey is a current member of the X-Force, of what I remember from what I saw in the Wikipedia article. ValleyFlyin, is Yo-Yo a viable option to take into Dark Dimension, specifically Dark Dimension 2 with that constant offense down? As I always love your content, keep it up. So yes, she is a very good protector. Just make sure, because she doesn't do that offense down, if you have another protector on the field, make sure you don't take another protector in to battle with her. Now, if you do have Black Bolt, that's going to make it an even better team, but I know the Asgardians aren't the most farmable team, so you may not have her, but just make sure that you're not taking another protector in there. But again, if you haven't built her up yet, just worry about whoever you get the superior uniques first, and then take in that team, because eventually you're going to pass Dark Dimension 2. Next question. With the Block Party event being announced immediately after the Phoenix event ended, which was announced immediately after the Payday event ended, can we expect this to be one of the new changes regarding release cadence that we saw from the devs? I am not sure. Foxnex has a history of being inconsistent with a lot of things, so they're very hard to predict what they're going to do. And I like the increased transparency that they have been given. So I hope it is something that they release, you know, a new event every week, whether it be a flash event or legendary event returning. I think that would make players a lot more happy. Next question. Hey brother, has there been any news on Foxnex plan to implement Red Skull into the game? I have not seen anything about Red Skull, the method that he's going to be added to the game. I think a lot of people are thinking he's a legendary character just because his kit looks so strong. I have not heard anything about the legendary release. So with that said, I'm not sure what it is. I think your guess is as good as mine. My guess would probably be a milestone event, because characters that are pretty powerful seem to be released via that method. So maybe after the Miles or the Symbiote Spider-Man event ends, or maybe the Cyclops thing just ended, so maybe another like Blitz milestone released. So I don't know. I haven't heard anything, brother. All right, hey Valley, with all the new meta teams and reworks, could you do a top 5 war offense and defense teams video? Yes, that sounds like a very good video. Normally I make those top 5 lists when there's not a lot going on in the game, and the past few weeks there seemed to be a lot going on in the game with the boycott and with new content and with Foxnex being more transparent with their communication. So that is a great idea and a video that I definitely want to do sometime. I'm just not sure when, brother. Next question. Sup, brother? Serious question. Can I upgrade my Coulson to 6 red star using the credits? I already have him at 5 red star, but mostly free to play, and it's quite hard to rank him from 5 to 6 yellow. So if you do not have the character at 6 yellow, it is not worth it to spend those gold credits to rank them up to 6 red stars. It will make no difference in your roster, and you could use those tickets on another character. Now, Coulson, I'm not a big fan of using 6 red stars on, because he's only really awesome in war defense, and you don't really get to play war defense. So that's not a character that I would do. But if you don't have a character at 6 gold stars, I would not upgrade. I would not spend credits to upgrade them to 6 red star, just flat out. I don't care how good the character, because you could get a good character like you mentioned here, Captain Marvel, Minerva, Scientist Supreme, whatever, before you get that Phoenix, whatever. Those are going to be more valuable and give you more bang for your buck. So just wait until you at least have a character at 6 red star before you even 6 gold star before you even consider upgrading that character. ValleyFlyin, how many gold stars are you expecting most players to have on Cyclops once the Ruby Heart event is over? So this is an older question, but the Ruby Heart event is over right now. I ended up getting 4 gold stars on Cyclops. I think some people got more than that. I think some people got 5 stars with that. I know there's some people that got less than that. So I'm thinking I'm at the average or slightly above the average. I'm thinking most players are around 4 yellow stars, gold stars for Cyclops. But yeah, let me know what you guys did in the comments, guys. Thanks as always for all the great content. Hello from Georgia. Hello from Texas. I know we don't know anything about the Red Skull release yet, but what do you think? So like I said, I'm thinking maybe a milestone character. I'm not sure why, but that's what I'm getting the feel for. No rumors, no data mines, no nothing, but that's just what I'm feeling. Possible needing aim or a Hydra to unlock, since there's no event tied to him. If he's legendary, how do you think they will release him? If he is legendary, I think Hydra does make the most sense, but knowing Fox, they're probably not going to pick Hydra, because then you would have the same team that you're going to use him with to unlock him, and that just seems way too generous. I don't know. We'll see what happens though, guys. Love the channel, boss. Great info. Is always entertaining, but not overly serious. Yeah, I try to keep it fun. My question is, being super resource strapped as most are, and mostly free to play, spending on what I can on gift cards, I have just enough ABCs to either upgrade Loki to T12 or Cyclops to T11. I have Sif, Heimdall at T11 as well, and as Guardians. and Wolvie at T11. Which one would you recommend upgrading first, Loki or Cyclops? So Loki is very valuable to that Asgardian team. Cyclops is a upgrade over Storm on that X-Men team, but with Storm, the Storm version of X-Men is still very, very good. And for that reason, I would say go Loki first and then do Cyclops second. That's the way I would do it, brother. Next question. I got my Hulk to 7 gold stars and thought of you. He's been at level 40 since he only smacks it. Yeah, I wish he would smash it. A little odd, but I've been very comfortable with Avengers not being a great team. You could get them very early in the game. The members in the Avengers have their own comics, friends, villains apart from the Avengers, but they come together as strong, independent characters. To give them an added synergy is overkill, in my opinion. But, and good luck with your MMA bouts. I'm not doing MMA, it's only jiu-jitsu. I'm not taking blows to the head, brother. Yeah, I'm very fearful of that long-term CTE with that, but I would have to disagree. I want the Avengers to be strong. Maybe not one of the top 5, like I said, but I do want to see them in the top 10. Maybe they're strong on other teams, but give them synergy so people have the option of combining them, especially newer players, combining them and be strong. But that is my opinion. Next question. If you were using the new Aimtron, how would you position your tunes and who would you leave off? So with the Ultron AIM team hybrid, I think you definitely need Ultron, or it would just be AIM. Scientist Supreme is a must. Graviton is one of the better characters. Now, some people may want to leave him off because they don't have the gold stars on him and don't have the power level for him. He has a great kit though, so I probably would leave him on. You need a protector, so AIM security. So that is 4. That is a must. Personally, for me, I would put on Monstrosity. And as far as their order, I don't think it matters too much, but I would probably leave security at the end and not leave Ultron next to security. And I think that now, if you're going with a different character than Monstrosity, some of the adjacency matters, so that might switch. But I personally would use Monstrosity because my Monstrosity is 7 red star. Next question. Shelling in Alliance War needs to be fixed. Matchmaking would probably help. Any ideas on how it could be fixed? I think they could give out more rewards and reward people for staying in the same alliance, and like kind of penalize for people that switch along. I don't know if penalizing people would be the best thing because you know, sometimes things happen. You need to switch alliances, and you know, for various reasons. But I think increasing rewards for some of these alliances that stay together would help with that. Maybe if the rewards are so low on one of your lower shell alliances that it's not worth it to switch back and forth. I think that would be a interesting solution for that issue. I've been reading about Scopely edition of Fox Next. Any insider thoughts? I have no insider thoughts. I am not an insider. I'm an outsider like you guys. Is there a meta arena team, or is it a combo of what you have at Red Stars and 10 different characters combined with Ultron and Phoenix? So I definitely think Ultron and Phoenix are requirements if you have them, unless you got like crazy Red Stars on another character. Now, characters that I think are worth bringing into arena. Black Bolt, if you have him. Yo-Yo is a good character. Hella Vision combo is also very, very strong and deadly in arena. I've seen some people still use Magneto, and then I've seen some weird teams based on the red stars. So I think it's going to be different for everybody based on these red stars, but Ultron, Phoenix is very good. Oh, and how can I forget Mr. Sinister? That is my favorite arena team character. Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of a combination of who you have based on your roster. I don't think there's one solution. I think there's a lot of teams that could beat any defensive teams out there. So there's many different solutions to your problem, but some of those characters are ones to consider bringing in, especially have good red stars on them. Hello from Texas. Hello from Texas as well. Love your content. Creep with the great work. Should I work on the AIM team in ahead of Shield? I don't have Fury unlocked that. I'm a mid-game player. So AIM is a better team than Shield in every game mode, in my opinion, except for war defense. So I think AIM is a better all-around team right now than Shield. So I think yes, especially since you have it unlocked for you now. I would still continue to build my Kree in the background so that next time the Fury event comes back, you can unlock them. But I think AIM is a better team, and that's a better way to go right now, building them. Next question. Red Skull and Hydra are looking like the new meta war defense team. Does this mean that Cap and the Avengers will finally begin their rework to become a meta team on War Offense and a hard Hydra counter. It'd be pretty sad if Captain America could not beat Red Skull and Hydra. That's definitely a way that could go in the future. I would be happy if they had like some kind of mechanic to make them a hard counter to Red Skull. It definitely looks like the Inhumans are a hard counter to that Hydra team. But yeah, Captain America, man, we definitely need Avengers coming back into the light and bringing them in there. Now, one thing I do want to mention on that trip to Fox next, what was mentioned is they don't want trash characters. And when we were at Fox next, there were a lot of trash characters. AIM was trash. Hydra was trash. Hand, Ravagers, they're still trash. So I would, just based on that, and I would assume that they would do some reworks to Hand, do some reworks to Ravagers to bring them into at least a usable character. You know, I mentioned Winter Soldier earlier, Bullseye, that they are kind of trash right now. I think they would want to make some characters usable because Avengers, they're not one of the best teams, but you can use them in certain game modes. But that is my opinion. I definitely would like to see Avengers get reworked and become part of the meta conversation again. I think thematically they deserve that. ValleyFlyin, thanks for all the great content. Was wondering, what is your take on the usefulness in boosts in war now? Seems like the new caliber attack teams boost seem like a major inconvenience. Thoughts? Well, with the way boosts work compared to how it worked before, I like that you could go in right at the start of battle and just place your boosts, place 3 boosts on some of the stronger teams in there and just not have to worry about that. So I kind of like the changes that they made there. Next question. A while back, I was asked what to do with my 7 red star Hydra sniper. Should I go ahead and level it up to 7 star because it is at 5 star? Once again, thanks for the videos and Hulk smash. So the Hydra rework doesn't seem like they're that great on their own. I think Red Skull is really what brings that team together. So at this point, I would say hold off at least until Red Skull is unlocked. So yeah, you can start to build them, you can start to prep for the future, but I don't think it's gonna be that much of a difference. I think your gold is better spent on other things that will benefit you right now in the game, and that is a character you could bring up to 7 stars a little later, depending on how much you're bringing, how big and bad the rest of your Hydra team is. Next question. ValleyFlyin, been a long watcher of your content, first time asker. Curious on your thoughts of using gold credits to make Wolverine 6 red star. Thinking his synergy with Cyclops and the rest of the team would make him a good option. Other option I have, Heimdall, Thanos, or Falcon. The rest of my 5s I wouldn't consider. Thanks and keep up the great content. I would hold. I would not spend it on Wolverine. He does have some good synergy. He is a little better. 5 golds, 5 red stars, not so bad on Wolverine. And if you manage to pull a good 5-star on like a Captain Marvel or a Phoenix, you're gonna be kicking yourself that you're using a Wolverine. So I would just hold and see what happens, see what normal pulls you get, see if you get a good character that way. Next question, ValleyFlyin. This is probably a long shot and a wild prediction, but Dark Dimension 4 Doctor Doom finally coming to the game. Your prediction is in the books, brother. Also, if you could combine 2 passive abilities, who would they be? Mine's is Black Bolt and Thanos. I like that Black Bolt passive as well. I think it's very strong. Instead of Thanos, though, I would go with Phoenix. I think Phoenix's passive is one of the strongest in the game, summoning Dark Phoenix when she dies. So if you had all the cool stuff that Black Bolt does with his passive, plus a Dark Phoenix every time that character dies, that would be a very, very strong passive. Next question. Thanks for all the great content. I got a 7 red star Winter Soldier. Is there any way I can make him work on the new Hydra team? So, like I said, I'm not super impressed with Hydra on their own. With Red Skull, that is what makes that team super, super strong, especially with his passive. But because the wording on a lot of his kit applies to Hydra minions, Winter Soldier is not a Hydra minion. I don't think he's going to have a lot of value on that team. I just think that character needs a rework. He needs some love, along with Bullseye and Nebula. There's some other characters that need some love. Winter Soldier needs some love as well. I would hold off right now, unless maybe you're making one of those old school villain teams with Crossbones, Kingpin, and some of those other characters. Yeah, I don't know if I'd really build him up too much right now. Next question, ValleyFlyin, really important question. Do you still pity the fool that doesn't have M'Baku? Of course I do. They are the ultimate raid team, right? And he is the protector on that ultimate raid team. How could you not pity a fool that doesn't have M'Baku? Next question. Do you think it'd be nice just to have a area where we could test out teams to see which ones are good and which ones are not, to have them boost and what they get in war? So I'm hoping that is what the new PvP, the real-time PvP will be, because it's kind of a friendly mode between friends and there's no real bonuses for that. I hope they give us an option that we could add in war bonuses, raid bonuses, and some of these specific character bonuses that these different characters get. I was trying to think of a different word, but use the same word. Sounds silly, but yeah, I'm hoping that's what the new real-time PvP will bring us, an area that we could test out certain characters in different game modes. Next question. Longtime viewer here just got Ultron and replaced him with Drax, Gamora, Mantis, and Yondu. Any thoughts on that team? So Drax, Mantis, that is a very good combo for Ultron. Drax, because he's going to take some pressure off of Ultron, let him get his bots out, keep him surviving for a lot longer. Same thing with Mantis because of that healing. Gamora, Yondu, I think you just place those characters on that team because you'd have really no home for them. So that is fine. I mean, Ultron, realistically, you could place him with 4 bad characters and still win in many different game modes, especially Blitz. So that is a good team for Ultron right there. Next question. Hey, ValleyFlyin, not sure which team to start working on. Been a launch player, run time of Red Stars, came back around October, and the teams that you still have not leveled: AIM, Brotherhood, X-Men, Marauders, and Inhumans. So 3 best teams in the game: X-Men, Inhumans, and Asgardians. Now, Inhumans, not fully farmable, so I'm not sure if I would work on them, but they are a very good team. So if you already have some good gold stars on those characters, then yes, start to work on them. X-Men, same thing. So either or, if you don't have the Inhumans with a lot of gold stars, then start to work on your X-Men because they are the best team. And just start working down. Work on your best team, the best teams in the game. Work on those top 3 if you have those, and then start working down. I'll probably go AIM after that. Maybe Brotherhood because of Toad and Blob, bringing them back into relevance. But yeah, those are work on X-Men probably first. Next question. No question. Just congratulations on your jiu-jitsu fight. Love that no one wanted to fight me. They just gave me the medal. Were they like fighting this guy? Nope, just give him the medal so we could all go home. Congrats again. So actually, when I found out that nobody wanted to fight me, they said, well, you could have the gold medal. I'm like, no, I don't want this gold medal. I didn't fight anybody for it. But when I talked to my teammate, he said, no, it's not like you showed up and didn't win a match and got these gold medals. You beat somebody and nobody wanted to fight you, and so go get the gold medal. Screw that. You sort of deserved it. So yeah, that's kind of what happened. I didn't want to take it at first, but one of my teammates convinced me to take it because yeah, I did win a match, kind of earned the first one, and yeah, nobody wanted to fight me. So, anyway, hello from Chicago, brother. Hello from Texas. Great job at the jiu-jitsu tournament and your daughter. Not really a question, but more of an answer for something very interesting. In the new power armor footage, they showed them fighting Asgardians with 1 Greg left. The power armor team would still get the win. An alliance mate of mine just fought the X-Men in war, saved Phoenix for last. She died, summoned Dark Phoenix, and did her ult and destroyed the whole team, so he still got the win. So my question is, why would somebody be placing X-Men on defense? But yes, thank you for that clarification. Some people have left it in the comments, but I've never talked about it in a video. So thank you for that clarification and that information to spread to everybody. Next question. By any chance, is it past 420 when you make some videos? I have no idea what you're talking about. Next question. What do you think about keeping Storm on the X-Men team and running Psylocke with hero ballers for the sake of making 2 good teams instead of 1 team? Great. So with that, in certain matchups, not having Psylocke there is not going to matter at all. Using a different X-Men will help. But in certain matchups, especially with teams that have a lot of debuffs, placing them on the X-Men after Phoenix's turn, and just, you know, if you have a lot of debuffs, the way to get rid of that is Psylocke. You're not really getting rid of all your debuffs if you don't have her. Plus, she could take away some positive effects from the other teams, some taunts if her focus is enough. So in certain teams, you're going to need Psylocke, and other teams you won't. So sometimes it will work it's fine, and other times it won't. It depends on who you're fighting with that X-Men team. Next question. Hey, ValleyFlyin, long-time fan here, first-time question. Was wondering if you could smash an answer for me, brother. My whole alliance is stoked for Red Skull. Been farming his minions for months since his data mine code was found. UNMG had a video on farming them for a potential rework soon. I know you can't give us any details of what you know, but if he is a legendary character and who would you had to guess, who would be the 3 potential teams that you would suggest we acquire in order to build up a legendary event? So first of all, I don't think he's a legendary character, and the reason for that is we haven't had an announcement yet. Now, they may have wanted to get an announcement and been kind of backlogged and been in panic mode since the boycott, so maybe that's why we haven't heard anything about a legendary character, but I don't think he's gonna be a legendary character because the past few we've heard about legendary characters and the release method in advance. With that said, Foxnect is not always consistent with the way they do things, so could be wrong on that one. I think, like I said before, Hydra makes the most sense, but one team that is not really farmable right now, the full team for the Supernatural is not farmable, so that would be a pretty Foxnexty team to have unlocked for Red Skull, because it makes no sense just that most people don't have all these characters all the way at 7 stars, so that is potential. And I have no idea what if he would be a legendary character, what star he would unlock at, so I don't know, just throwing that out there, but yeah, it's just an assumption based on nothing, because I don't know anything about the release method of Red Skull. Look at Strange for Fear the Darkness 3, needs 72 uniques. Between his ultimate and passive, what is the best T4 to do? So I did both of them, and I used his ultimate first to get an extra member of that Supernatural team back to life, and then I did his passive. But if you're not using a full Supernatural team, you might want to go passive first and then ultimate to help out your Supernatural. Next question, Aussie Rob here. What is up, Aussie Rob? I reckon we changed fix MSF to fix Colossus drop rate since they made him farmable. I picked up a whopping 2 shards. What is up with that, Foxnext? So when he was first released, I was actually getting pretty good drops. I know there's some days I got 8 drops, but I think maybe the past week and many of the drops I've gotten 0. So I don't know if they changed them or if I've just had bad luck along with you, but I'm not sure what's going on with that node. It may be just a string of bad luck for both of us, but not sure, guys. Let me know how your Colossus farming is going, those of you that have unlocked that node. Next question, I know you said you were holding on to Orange Gear to decide who you would take into Dark Dimension 3. Now that it's released and we got the sweet uniques milestone rewards, have you decided who your first 5 will be? It's not going to be a specific 5. There's certain characters I'm looking at, but obviously those mini uniques are going to be the major roadblock to that. So I'm way short on those for any characters to take them up to gear 14. So it's probably just going to be whoever I got the mini uniques first. I'm going to take them in first to Dark Dimension, which means that Shield Trooper, very interesting candidate for that game mode. That might be my first. I don't know who the rest of the 4 is, but I think Shield Trooper might be my first that I'm going to take up. Next question, what position did you play in rugby? My primary position was second row lock. But as you know, in the US, not everybody's serious. So a lot of times at the game day, you're scrambling and filling different positions. So I played a lot of flanker, a lot of 8-man, but primarily second row. I liked the jumping and the lineouts. I was pretty good at that too. But that is it for the questions, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope some of these answers were helpful for you. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, smash on that like button, brother, and join the notification squad. Subscribe to the channel, share this with your friends, check out some of my other videos, all of that stuff. There's some links that support the channel, the merch if you want to get some cool shirts, and if you did not get your question answered this week, make sure you leave it again in the Discord server. Shorter questions are better, just for the video, but try to answer it as many as I can, and I will see you guys next time. Hulk fist bump, baby! Make sure you check me out on social media. ValleyFlyin out!